It's hard to defeat a global label with arguments. You defeat it with systems. So while headlines focus on conflict minerals in Central Africa, Rwanda is responding to a documented problem, not with denial, but with system design. After traceability failures and regional leakage were exposed, Rwanda is moving to build a fully industrialized, internationally auditable mine designed not just to extract minerals, but to extract doubt from the supply chain. Not to erase history, not to argue intent, but to impose verifiable control, making every ton traceable, auditable, and far harder to launder through the supply chain, making compliance so clean that suspicion has less places to hide. African markets don't trust stories. We demand infrastructure and receipts. And remember, if you want more Africa First stories the West often ignores, hit subscribe. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth behind them. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Rwanda's mining strategy matters far beyond minerals and how Africa is learning to engineer credibility.
This is where politics gets left at the door. Rwandan men and women make their way to the mouth of a tunnel system so vast, so deep, they have to pump air into it so they can keep breathing, keep digging, keep searching for highly prized minerals. It is difficult and dangerous work, but they know the riches buried under Kigali's hill country have the potential to lift the entire country up. And every new vein sparks a fresh wave of excitement.
We are keep developing this line because we are expecting to get other and even bigger than this as we keep going down.
Mining hasn't changed much in Rwanda in the last 100 years, but geologists say it needs to.
This is one of the largest tin mining operations in the country and one of the largest mines overall. But despite the fact that it is so expansive, it represents only a fraction of the potential for mineral mining in the country.
Modernizing mines could double or triple yield. Convincing investors it is worth the cost is one of the biggest challenges.
Mining has been done for many years, locally in a more artisanal way for many years, and now we are starting to modernize the process, the operations. But there is still a mindset problem.
Rwanda is already a leading global producer of the three T's, tin, tantalum, and tungsten. Significant deposits of rare earth elements and other valuable minerals have the potential for economic growth that could be transformative.
The reason it's essential to mechanize is you need to do proper exploration, you need to do proper mine planning so that you can optimize your mining production.
Rwanda's government says accusing it of exploiting the DRC's resources is a strategy to undermine its strategic interests amid a scramble for resources by regional and Western actors. Rwanda wants to become a hub for the industry, but this remains ambitious. Small-scale mining still accounts for 80% of mineral production, and attracting investors is a challenge when there is a war next door. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera, Kigali, Rwanda.
So, the minerals in this story are not symbolic. They're tungsten, tin, and tantalum, essential inputs for electronics, aerospace, energy systems, and defense manufacturing. For years, minerals from the Great Lakes region have fallen under the Global Conflict Minerals Framework, right? So a system designed to prevent armed groups, particularly in Eastern Congo, from funding violence through resource extraction. That's what it said. So the framework didn't accuse every country, it didn't blacklist every exporter, but it did something extremely powerful. It made global buyers nervous. And in commodity markets, nervous buyers don't ask questions, right? They kind of just walk away. So Rwanda found itself pulled into that anxiety, not because it is Congo, but because it is nearby, right? So efficient, invisible, and trade data. So Rwanda made a strategic choice. If trust is the accused bottleneck, build a system that forces trust, right? So in global markets, explanations expire faster than spreadsheets. So people assume that this headline means Rwanda wants to escape the conflict minerals label and assumes this is about image management. And that's possible. So what's actually happening is Rwanda has expanded and industrialized the tungsten operation, right? So now it's recognized as one of Africa's most advanced large-scale tungsten mines, the Nyakabingo, right? So this is not an artisanal mine. It's not informal or opaque. The operation is engineered around end-to-end traceability, independent audits, buyer-specific compliance, Western ESG and due diligence regimes. So this mine exists for one reason. Markets don't reward intent, they reward verification. And Rwanda is understanding that in real time. So this matters for African power because there's a much deeper lesson. So modern sovereignty isn't declared, it's documented, audited, and accepted. So here we require full traceability for African minerals, economies that industrialized before traceability existed, right? So this matters for a huge economic impact. A fully industrial mine changes the economic equation. Skilled technical jobs, engineers and geologists, formalized supply chains, higher value export positioning. This isn't survival mining. This is industrial alignment with global demand. So there's another huge political impact here. And this is more of a quiet power move. So instead of debating allegations, Rwanda is effectively saying, evaluate what we ship today. That shifts scrutiny away from narratives and towards systems. So it's hard to argue with the barcode, right? And there's regional reality here with far less illusion. So let's be clear. Parts of Eastern Congo remain unstable and smuggling has not disappeared. The conflict minerals challenge isn't magically solved, but Rwanda's strategy draws a crucial distinction, right? So regional instability doesn't mean national capability, right? And in global markets, that separation matters, right? So, or regional instability doesn't mean that you can't have national capability, right? So that's an important separation, So there's three consequences that may follow. Infrastructure becomes reputation. More African states will learn the lesson, and not through speeches, not through summits, as we always say, through assets that speak for themselves. And then conflict minerals becomes a spectrum. Countries with industrial proof that become industrial proof will be treated differently than those without, right? So even if they share geography, then they can be separated, right? So that's not fairness. That's how markets operate. So this connects directly to what we've discussed before about permission-based development. So Africa starts engineering access, not pleading for it. Rwanda's mine isn't just a pit in the ground, it's a passport. So next episode, we'll break down how this infrastructure set up in Rwanda should be replicated in the DRC, right? One closing truth, right? This debate is far from over. Rwanda is taking steps in the right direction, and inshallah, we're going to see DRC be able to do the same for themselves, functioning sovereignly, right? So, mashallah, that's your African Insight for today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because I'm Mr. Empower TV. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth behind them. This is Mr. Empower, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.